What's going on, guys? This is Damien from The Lookout and welcome to our how to play guide for Dragon Ball superhero themed yellow archetype. But before we begin this video, hit that like and subscribe button. We are on our way to 1000 subs when I'm gonna give away 2 booster boxes. Now roll the video. In this video we go over lines of play, strategies, combos, mulligans, everything. But we always start with the game plan. What's the game plan when you're playing this deck? The game plan is to cheat out a bunch of cards super early, get your boss monster online turn 2, charge a lot of Z energy, and then just swing at your opponent, beat them down by turns 2 or 3, and win the game. This is how you do it, but first let's look at the mulligan. We have not 1, not 2, but 3 different versions of the mulligan. So version number 1, this is if you are going first. If you do not hit your unison in the opening hand, you keep Piccolo Heart of the Teacher and you keep your boss monster. In every version of the mulligan, I've decided to suggest that you keep your boss monster because you play him turn 2 always, and then you just proceed to beat your opponent twice for 30k. So yeah, I think you would like to keep this guy in your opening hand. The second version of the mulligan is if you have Pan, then you don't need Piccolo. Instead, you are looking for Son Gohan Parental Love. This is your 1-cost barrier who is going to grab you the Pan from the deck that you can play for free when you have your Z battle card, which you will always have out turn 2. So this is if you hit your unison, and the first one was if you don't hit your unison. Now let's look at the mulligan if you are going second. This is your mulligan if you're going second. Always look for Pan, because you can cheat her out with your leader. You just discard her and then you play her for 1. Always, look for a boss monster. Of course, you want your boss monster out turn 2. And the last card isn't from this archetype, but I believe that it's a very strong play turn 2, Vegeta Prideful Transformation. Not a lot of things have deflect this early on, and because your unison is going to have 3 markers out, this is a pretty good play. I would look for it if I hit Pan and Gohan. I would definitely look for Vegeta for some extra protection. Here is some brief mulligan explanation if you're wondering how and why. First off, Pan. This is your main unison for the deck. If you're going second, you can always cheat her out for 1 energy, because your leader discards 1 when he attacks, and when she's discarded, you can play her in rest mode with 1 marker on her for 1 energy, then you +2, she's on 3 markers, and then you can play your Vegeta counterplay during your opponent's turn. So always try to hit your unison. Piccolo is here if you didn't hit your unison, because he can tutor for your unison, which you can play on turn 2 if you wish, and he draws a card all on turn 1. So yeah, if you don't hit your unison, that's why you're looking for Piccolo. I want to briefly explain this Vegeta. So this is a set 10 card. This isn't an in-archetype card, but it's a blocker which you can counterplay for free if you have a unison with 2 or more markers out. That's why you're keeping him, because not a lot of things that early in the game have deflect. So you can still rest them when you play this guy, and he's a 14k body with a blocker. It's good defense. The final explanation is for the Gohan. So as I've said, if you hit your unison in your opening hand, you look for this Gohan, you keep the Gohan. He's a good play on turn 1, because when you play him, you get to search for your Pan battle card, which you can play for free and draw a card once you have a Z battle card out, which you will have every turn 2. So yeah, that's why you're looking for him. He doesn't look for a unison, but he effectively looks for draw 1 on turn 2. This is your turn 1, so this is if you are going first. Your goal is to get your Z battle card out by turn 2. To make things interesting, let's just say that you started with Piccolo, that you didn't hit Pan. So you start the game, you pay 1 to play Piccolo Heart of a Teacher. His auto triggers, you look at top 5, you grab your pen, you pass the turn. Turn 2, you swing with your Piccolo, you combo with literally anything. So it can be this Gohan, it can be whatever, and you charge him into your Z energy. Then you pay 2, paying 2 plus 1 Z energy to play your Z battle card, and then you awaken. Now your turn 1 if you are going second. So our goal is still the same, get out the Z battle card. Now we can attack this turn, and that's the biggest difference. You attack, your auto triggers. You need to discard pen. For this to work, you must have pen in your hand. So you discard her auto triggers. You pay 1 to play her, and then you pass the turn. I mean, you play her in rest mode, you plus 2, she has 3 markers on, you pass the turn. Next turn, first you attack with your pen, then you combo. Once again, it can be like literally anything, doesn't need to be this Piccolo, it can be like whatever. Charge him into your Z energy. Then you pay 2 plus 1 Z energy to play your Z battle card, and then you awaken. Let's go over some what if scenarios. So first off, if you are playing against a leader that can comfortably remove your stuff, so if you're playing against something that's red or black, where a black deck which can like keep removing stuff, maybe some green decks as well, let's say like the Ultimate Cell deck, you can just remove things, then the line of play where you look to get your unison in the mulligan, and this 1-drop Gohan is much better than getting the Piccolo instead, because Piccolo, he will do his thing and then he will just get removed. On that exact same note, if you're playing against a deck that can reliably and consistently remove your 1-drop, let's say like Cell for example, or anything red or black, then you should not rely on the idea that you can swing and combo with your 1-drop on turn 2. Instead, this is once again if you're going first. Instead, what you should be doing is on your opponent's turn, when your opponent attacks you, then you combo and charge 1 Z energy. Because you don't want to be swinging with your leader on turn 2 on his unawakened side if you can help it. Like, it is much better to swing with its awakened side. So yeah, if you're going first, your opponent can remove your 1-drop, then you charge your Z energy on their turn when they attack you. That's how you do this. The last what if is what if something went horribly wrong and you didn't get your boss monster on time. What do you do then? Well, I don't necessarily advise running this Gohan, I'm not super sold on it, but if you don't have your boss monster and you need to protect yourself, then you can Spirit Boost, play him for 1, rest something, he can block twice, so yeah, that's still a play, so that's something that you can do if you didn't hit your boss monster. Congratulations, you have awakened turn 2. Now you know what time it is, it's aggro time. Now your goal switches to hitting your opponent in the face as much as possible. Here's how you do this. We finally have the big turn 2 play. So you awaken, you have 1 energy. Attack with your leader, his auto triggers. So first attack for 15k, you discard 1. You discard your boss monster. And now you resolve your attack. Then you target your Z battle card, which has dual attack. You attack with him once, you restand him, and then you pay 1. You pay 1 because he reduces EX Evolve skills by 2. So you just pay 1 yellow, EX Evolve your boss monster from your drop, your boss monster allows you to do that, onto this Z battle card. You KO something if you have your unison in play. Then you get to attack twice with a 30k guy KOing something every time that you attack. So KO on first attack, KO on second attack if you have the unison. So 2 KOs, 2 swings for 30k, and then you pass the turn. What is the final result? Well, you have attacked 3 times for 15k. You have attacked with your unison. Of course, this is if you went second. You have attacked with your unison when you comboed to get your Z energy. you have attacked with your awakened leader, and he's not 15k, he's 21k, so even better. You have attacked with your Z battle card, then you have EX evolved into your leader, attacked for the first time for 30k, attack for the second time for 30k. You have attacked 5 times turn 2. 2 of those swings, maybe even 3 of them, are so enormous that your opponent is just going to be taking damage. And if you have your Unison, which you have, then you also get to KO stuff. And you get to rest stuff because you've played your Z battle card. So you get to do a whole bunch of things turn 2. You also have your Awakened Leader, a Unison with now 3 markers on it. No, even more. Okay, at least 3, but even more. And you have your boss monster out. Yeah, if that's not an amazing aggressive turn 2, I don't know what is. Now let's go over some upgrades for the deck. So, I have 3 recommendations. Upgrade number 1 is Great Ape Sangoku Sand Instincts. This is your best friend, because you can always discard him with your leader's effect, with your Unison's effect. You have so many ways of just discarding this guy, and then from the once he's in the drop, you pay 2, you warp him, you draw 2 cards. So it's super easy to get him into the drop because you're discarding a lot and then you're just drawing 2. Very, very good card. Get a couple of these for this deck. The next upgrade, the absolute must-have for this deck, the if you get one thing, get this thing, is SS2 Gohan Z Fighter Unison. This is your turn 3 play, so if your opponent somehow isn't dead yet, you play this guy on turn 3, Pen gets so many markers that empowering is going to be extremely easy, so play this guy and then have an explosive turn 3. Here's what I'm talking about. So this is what I'm talking about. Let's say your turn 3, you use +2, you attack, you swing with your Unison for 15k, then you pay 3, you empower, you play this Gohan, you get all of the markers from Pen, his auto triggers, you remove something, you use your -3, you attack, now he's 25k power, he has triple attack, your leader is bigger, you repeat this attack like 3 times, and then hopefully you win the game. The last recommendation for this deck, and a huge disclaimer before I start, I don't like recommending secret rares to people, because I cannot look at you and tell you seriously like, hey, you need to spend like 100 euros on this card if you want to play this deck. But if you have extra money to spend, or if you already have this card, this is your one and only secret rare for this deck, because you can grab him with your family extra card and you can grab him with your unawakened leader. You have ways of searching for him. It's a super combo, it's plus 30k, it plays itself, an amazing card for the deck. If you can afford it, or if you have it, get it. If you can't afford it, it's fine, you don't need it. You can still play the deck without it. So yeah, that's my final upgrade. Let's go into the summary. Here's my summary of the deck. So as you have seen, it's an extremely aggressive deck. It's super aggressive. You can play your boss monster on turn 2 and it swings twice for 30k. That's just stupid good. It's very, very consistent. You know, it has great synergy. It has ways to search for stuff. It's super consistent. I think that this deck has a huge top tier deck potential. I think that, like, depending on the ban list, this might be the next yellow deck in the upcoming metagame. And it has that playstyle, which is basically draw a floodgate or lose. So yeah, super aggressive deck. What's not to love? I mean, yeah, I was sure that a superhero deck is going to be busted, and yeah, this looks very, very busted. So if you like aggressive decks, if you like yellow, this is a deck for you. That's it for the video. Let me know in the comments below, are you ready to face this deck? Because I think that we'll be facing a whole bunch of these decks. Like, I think that this is going to be the next yellow meta deck. So are you ready to face it? Have you tried it online on Untap? Let me know how this deck works with you if you have tried it. Leave your comments in the comment section below. I read all of your comments, I try to respond to everything, I love our little community, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We are on our way to 1000 subs when I'm going to go broke giving away 2 booster boxes. This has been Damien from The Lookout, and I'll see all of you in the next video.